Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Becca with House of Lenormand. Today is Sunday, June 30th, and I thought that I would go ahead and revisit the grand tableau that I had done. Let's see here, I did this April 11th of 2019. This is my working copy where I have, as you can see here, I have notes all over the place on this thing. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, there was just like notes everywhere. I don't remember when I posted that video, but that reading, I did it April 11th, and I had set the intention to go forward 8 months. So as you can see here, each month designates a column. Each column vertically designates a month. So if you go to, I'll try to link that video down below, but I believe it's the first one in that series. I think I posted 3, part 1, 2, and 3. And I think on the first video, I kind of gave you like a quick overview of what's going on each month. And I thought I'd go ahead and review that, kind of like, you know, revisit that today with you guys. Sorry about my chicken scratch everywhere. I got to thinking on my video that I did on Nancy Pelosi, like, you know, what the hell are you thinking, or what the hell are you doing? In that reading, I was a bit frustrated because, you know, it just seemed like the commitment or the agreement that she was walking into was just a really bad deal. And then you know, it wasn't my best video because I was a little bit ticked off and it was out of character for me. So I got to thinking about it, and then I remembered the grand tableau, and I was like, girl, why are you getting all angry? Like, you already know what's going to happen every month. So just revisit the tableau and let's kind of like chill out for a minute and think about it, and, you know, gather your thoughts, and let's go back. So as you can see here, for the month of July, I had said that there's going to be a very important person coming in that's bringing in news, perhaps that has to do with a subpoena or something. And I had said that the courts were going to be activated in July, simply because the tower, card number 19, lands in its own house, which is the tower. So typically in the grand tableau, when a card lands in its own house, that's a huge, like, flashing red light. Like, that's something that's very significant and very important that needs to be paid attention to, because it's a sign that there's something going on within that. So here I had said that there was the courts were going to be activated in July, simply because the tower landed in the house of the tower, and I had said that there was a person coming in bringing very important news, and I had also said that we could possibly be seeing something taking place with immigration, because the storks landed in the house of the letter, and the writer landed in the house of the key. So because the storks are migratory birds, I had said that perhaps we're going to be seeing something very significant developing in July that has to do with immigration and people coming in and out. Something to do in the courts that has to do with immigration, quite possibly the border. And because the tower is also something that separates you from someone else. So I had said something about the border, immigration, and a very important person coming in that has the answer. He has the key, the writer in the house of key. I also wanted to revisit for August. It looks like I had said in August, his finances, his money, his business, his career is front and center. We have the birds in the house of house. We may be seeing hearings taking place in the house, the birds, using your voice, speaking, talking, interviews, people coming in to speak. So that could be hearings in the house. And this is when we get all the information about his finances, his career, his businesses, his real estate, because the house lands in the house of man, and man lands in the house of fish, which is your businesses money. And then the fish lands in the house of garden, which is public funds and taxes. This right here, the tower with the fish in the house of the garden, this is talking about something that's being used for public funds. So we could be seeing something develop around his taxes, or some more litigation here that has to do with the public funds that are being used for the border wall. But I remember the very first thing that came up in that reading, to lead off the reading, was we had the scythe in the house of the writer. So that was telling me that, see here, emergency. There was going to be news of chaos, crisis, separation, something that's going to get cut off. So it looks like, I mean, just go back, and I don't want to bore you guys this whole thing with that, but I'll try to link that video down below, part 1, because I don't really remember what I said in part 2 or part 3. But yeah, it looks like we may start seeing hearings in August, and that very important person, guess what? He's coming in on the 17th. The Storks, card number 17th. The key is pointing to number 17. The answer comes on the 17th. The person that's coming to visit, order by following the orders of a subpoena with the letter that was issued by the government. That's Robert Mueller. So we already know that's happening. That's already taking place. And it's so crazy because I did this back, look at the date, April 11th. This happened in May. This happened in June. This is July. I'm telling you, we're going to probably start seeing hearings in August. In September, I said that he was he was done. He's completely done. Come September, it's like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's only a small window of opportunity, but then it's like a trap. As soon as he gets out of that, he jumps into something else. I had said in October that someone's leaving. I couldn't tell who it was. I didn't know if it was his child, because there's the child right there in the house of Fox, or the child, one of the children may be leaving. If the Fox is not speaking about an investigation or a fraud, it could be speaking about someone's 9-to-5 job. So we may see one of the children resigning their post come October. November, it's not good, and by December, he's done. This woman here has completely ruined his career. And also, this is talking about the child informant camps, the garden in the house of Hart. This looks like they get shut down, or this gets resolved, or this woman here, the woman with the plan, the woman that's in the House of Stars right here, she ends him. Also, I had said, I don't remember which part it was, if it was part 1, 2, or 3, that I said that once we get to August, he's screwed. Because right here, he lands all the way outside of the tableau. This whole portion up here, this is the tableau. He lands in the line of fate, which is all the way at the very, very bottom. So I can't see, other than these 2 cards, what's coming in for him. I can only see all this stuff up here. All of this is weighing down on him and affecting him. He has no control over any of this up here. So all he can do is react with aggression and anxiety, perhaps a chronic illness, and he's really, really worried about getting sunk and being found guilty for stealing and corruption. But the immediate thing over him is the house and his real estate, his family and his businesses and real estate. But once we get to August, as the time moves this way, once we get to August and September, it's a trap. It looks like it clears up in October. However, the stars, right behind it, you have the clouds, and the clouds in the grand tableau, you want it as far away and behind the stars, otherwise it clouds and there's no success. Also to note that the clouds lands in the house of the sun. So this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and that's really, really bad. That's the coffin in the house of moon, which is your career and your reputation. So yeah, it looks like Mueller coming in July, August hearings. So yeah, just thought I'd, you know, I'll try to put that down below for you guys. But after I calmed down and I like took a deep breath and relaxed, I remember that reading that I had done, and I had pulled 2 cards over the main reading to see if Nancy Pelosi had some kind of a plan. And it said that her plan was secret, and it was the stars and the book. So I went ahead, sorry, let me try to straighten this out. I went ahead and pre-selected the stars as my significator, and I went ahead and shuffled the deck and pulled 4 before and 4 after and put the stars right in the middle to be my significator and my focus. So her plan is that commitment. Remember, I told you that in that first reading it was woman, ring, snake, whip, and clouds was the order that it came out in. And I was saying that that agreement was bad. It was not a good agreement. Here it's saying that that agreement is burdensome and it's false. So that's a false agreement, and that agreement is going to be cut, and there's going to be a stroke of luck. Right here, there's a burden and guilt. This is a trap or an investigation, a fraud, or some sort of manipulation. And here's the hearings. Someone speaking and using their voice. It could be, this is a card of pairs, this is a card of choices, and this is the card of opportunities. So it looks like she's going to take an opportunity to have a couple of hearings, perhaps. A couple of hearings. And there looks like the plan was she was perhaps anticipating, because of the people that she made the deal with, being Mitch McConnell and Mike Pence, 2 individuals that are not to be trusted. 2 liars. See here? 2 liars. Perhaps the terms of that agreement was, you know, but it was verbal. There's nothing in writing. And I only know this because I was watching Sam Cedar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He pops on MSNBC every once in a while. And I think CNN too sometimes. I'm not sure. But he has a show here on YouTube, and it's called The Majority Report with Sam Cedar. And I'll try to find that video and link it down below. But it appears from his reporting that the agreement that was made to give the money for the border to Mitch McConnell was because there was a verbal agreement with her and Mike Pence and Mitch McConnell, 2 of the biggest liars ever. So perhaps she was already anticipating for that promise to be broken. See, promise and agreement is broken to give her the stroke of luck to push this. And once this comes out, boom, hearings, because they went back on their word. And here we go, hearings in the House. So perhaps that was the plan, that she knew that she was dealing with 2 people that are liars and manipulators. This is a pair, remember? 2 liars right here, 2 manipulators. This is a false agreement. The agreement or the promise that was made is false, and that's here as well. They will betray the agreement. There's multiple affairs or multiple agreements. It could have been 2 agreements, one with Mitch McConnell and one with Mike Pence, and they're both false. And perhaps she's anticipating for them to break the promise. So she's going to use that as an opportunity to weasel in this. Perhaps she's looking as well for some sort of a promise from other members of the House. But I'm not seeing the House here. So I am not seeing that House. So I can't tell you if she's trying to sway Republicans over, or if she has a deal with the Democrats behind closed doors to try to sway Republicans in the House to her side. All I can see is 2 liars and 2 manipulators that are guilty and are breaking a promise here. But there's 2 men that are breaking promises. So if there's something going on in the House, I couldn't tell you. I just see the agreement with two people here. One's a liar and one's a manipulator. So the liar we know is Mitch McConnell, the manipulator quite possibly Mike Pence, or it could be traits of both, you know. Let me see here. There's going to be multiple burdens and multiple agreements, but those agreements end up getting cut off. The promises end up getting broken, and it's perhaps there will be perhaps the agreement was to not have the hearings, to cut the hearings. Speaking cut. Perhaps the verbal agreement that they had behind closed doors was for them to not hold hearings. And that's what breaks, well, they broke their promise on their end. So now perhaps she has leeway to break her end of the promise and have the readings, because perhaps there was something to do with the original agreement that had been made for her not to hold them. So we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and kind of revisit this old puppy, because man, she's old. April 11th. How quickly time flies. April 11th. Yeah, I'll try to link that video down below. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to cut this off before we get to like 20 minutes, okay? Also, I wanted to say hi and welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for being with me. If you guys see anything here that I may have missed, please make sure to leave me a comment down below, and I'll make sure to get to you as soon as I can. And if you have any questions, I'll try to clear those up for you as best I can. I'm going to link the grand tableau down below. If you have any questions on that video, leave it on the comment section in that video, and I'll make sure to get to it ASAP. And you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on my next one. Bye. Hi everyone. Okay, so I noticed something while I was editing, and I just thought I'd pop on here and put a quick plug in. This here, this is talking about something that has to do with a descriptor. This is your voting booth. This is where you go to make a vote, to cast your vote, to make a decision between two things or options. This here is talking about an internet hack. Okay, something on the internet or to do with technology that's being cut or hacked into. And this has to do with elections. So I don't know how that would play into the agreement that she had with Mitch and Mike Pence. Perhaps she knows something that she promised to not reveal. Not sure. But I'm just noticed that while I was editing, and I thought I'd pop on here real quick and plug that in. So yeah, sorry about that. If you guys see anything else, let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, you guys have a safe and happy 4th of July, and I'll see you on my next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.